All right. Thank you, everyone who's here for being with us for this amazing class where we're going to share some good tips on how to create and sustain lasting habits. And for all those that are going to watch the replay thereafter, I'm so excited to share this space with one of my new friends, Shirley Blondy. And she is a positive psychology expert, organizational consultant, personal coach, and a whole bunch of other things. Like me, she wears tons of hats. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to her for her to explain more about herself and to jump right into the material.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. Nice to meet you all. So my name is Shirley Blondy. First of all, thanks for this hour because it's like 5 o'clock. All my kids are running around, and I'm here, and I have a good excuse to be here, locked in the room, and my husband is handling everything. So thank you, Tashena. And thank you for inviting me over. I'm highly appreciated. So as you probably noticed, I'm not from here. And we just arrived. Actually, I'm new in the United States. I just arrived 6 months ago this summer. So we absolutely new with the new habits all over. We came from Israel. My husband moved to Israel 15 years ago. And after a long time, we have 3 kids. He convinced me to move here. And now we live here. We live in the United States. It's all new for me. I need to adjust to so many things. For example, the weather, because it's in Israel, it's like so warm right now. And here it's crazy. So new habits. So in Israel, I had a training company for 15 years. And I have tons of experience with organizations, all type of, I mean, sizes, so large companies, small companies. I used to work over the years with thousands of employees and managers, hundreds of companies, teaching them how to be more productive, to be more efficient, to be more positive. One of my expertise is positive psychology. I do believe that when we are happy, everything works better. Our relationship, we're more creative. We live longer. We don't sick as much as before. So this is something I'm always like keep focusing. I just noticed that today it's Valentine, and I dressed I dressed like red, and you as well, like Tashena, kind of red, and I have flowers. So happy Valentine to everyone. So actually today it's a kind of Valentine. We're going to discuss about how we can love ourselves and setting like a good habits for ourselves. So we're gonna start with the presentations, and it's gonna help us. It's gonna help you keep in track. Okay, so just tell me, Tashena, that you see. Just okay, perfect. So today we're going to discuss how to build successful habits. So that's my name, Shirley Blondy, and this is my email. My company name is Starter. And I do believe that no matter what I'm teaching, I'm only the starter, which means I'm only the one that like give you the motivation, but you choose how far you will go with this ride. You go whether you're going to do it or not. At the end, I'm not with you. So you need to choose and to take this decision to do something. And I do believe that even from such a short session, like 30 minutes, you can take some things and you can do it. So just write notes, take a note of stuff that you think that might be good for you. And let's start. So we're going to discuss about a connection between having good habits to happiness, okay? And whether there is something like that. The importance of recognizing our goals, enjoy what we have already, and tips and tools on how to sustain habit for the long term. Because it's a one thing to have an habit and to start a new habit, but even more important and sometimes more difficult is to keep it for a long time and not just to stop it after 1 week. Okay, so we're going to learn how to do it. Okay, so what does habit mean to you? When I'm saying habit, think about what comes to your mind. Is it like something, usually when we talk about habits, it's something what we're thinking about, something that we do like repeated like over like every day, every month, every week. I believe some of you will listen to this record are business owners, okay? So we have a lot of habits that we don't even notice because they're becoming like so on autopilot. They're becoming so automatically that we don't even remember it. We don't even remember us doing it. So when we define a habit, we're thinking about something, a behavior that we're doing over and over again, and it's becoming automatically. I can tell you that we can apply any habits that we want, but the whole point is to keep doing it again and again. Once you do it again and again, it's becoming less effort. Your brain is not making such an effort, a big effort. It's becoming easier. And then after a while, it's becoming like something that you don't even remember and just doing it. Let's say to drink coffee, some of us like in the morning, we're always doing it. We don't feel that we're making an effort. It's becoming a part of us. For some of us, it's, brush teeth. We're just doing it like automatically. We don't even think about it. And we'll do it no matter what. Some of us to take a shower in the morning. Some of us like started the day with like taking the phone, okay, and just look at it. I'm not saying it's a good habit, but it's a habit that we have. So the whole point is to have the habits we want to apply and to do it over and over again and to make it like automatically. So this is a question I would like you to think about it. Whether to have a big success, we need to do a big things. Because sometimes we have the tendency to think that if we want to achieve big goals, we need to do a big things. And we don't really count the small thing. And I want to give you my perspective. It's very like suitable with my business name, Starter. And let me tell you a few things about the power of 1% improvement, which I absolutely believe in it. And if you're going to take only this, that's something very, very important. And you can apply it all different area in your, as a parent, it's Valentine's Day. So like being a wife, 1% improvement, focus on only 1% improvement. Because sometimes we have the tendency not to appreciate small steps. It's easy to neglect them because we can't really see them. We want stuff that are big, that everyone will talk about them, that everyone appreciate it. And if people don't see, they don't say anything. And after a while, we just give up, okay? So small difference in performance can lead to a very unequal distribution when repeated over time. And just hear me out about this fact. If we will be better every day, just at least by 1%, only 1%, no matter in which area, over a year, we will improve 37% more. And think about it. Those little things that we do every day, and the importance is to keep doing them every day to keep doing it 1%. After a year, it's almost 40%, which that's a big deal, okay? I'm thinking about my business. If I'm taking something that I would like to be better on it, whether it's to get more clients, whether it's to be better in sales, every day, just 1% to improve, 40% more. I want to be 40% more in so many situations. So take it as an attitude, everything, focus on the little things. That's very, very important. Appreciate what we already have. This is this is a picture from, the summer in Israel, which is absolutely different. And appreciate what we already have. Sometimes what I recommend is we don't really appreciate what we already have. So as a thing that I would like you to do when you're going to hear it, and Irene, you can do it now if you want, to write down as many habits you remember you do every day. Okay. Sometimes when we write things down, we can see actually how many things we have. And think about it, things that you can do as a habit with your business. What is the first thing you usually do? Sometimes you have different clients that you call them every day as a habit. Maybe to open emails, to start a day with emails. Maybe you have a routine that you keep doing it. So try to think about as many habits you remember, and just to look at that. That's sometimes nice because some of us say, no, I'm not good in habits. I don't know what to do. I'm not good in My willpower, I can't do it. And when they write it down, they say, oh, wow, I have a lot of habits. I have a lot of things that I'm doing every day, every week. So first, write it down. The second thing I would like you to do is to mark down each one of them, whether you think it's good or not, either good, neutral, or bad. So just write them down. I mean, if it's a positive thing, if it's a bad thing, or if it's just neutral. And it's like really depend. One of us will say about something that is bad, the other think it's good. So it's very something personal for you. Then, just for you to know, find out what is this habit that you're most proud of. So for some of us, it's like as a parent, the fact that I'm every day start a day with a kiss my child. This is a habit maybe I'm very proud. So for some of us, is this habit to every day to end my day with summarize of what I've done today. So just look for one little thing that you're proud of. And as well, think what helped you to sustain it for a long term. Okay. And by the way, what we just did is to learn from success, because this is come from the positive psychology area. Because usually we have the tendency always to think about something that it's not working and try to analyze what's not working there. So in this section, I recommend you to learn from success, to see what you have, to find out the stuff that you're proud of, and to think what makes it work, what makes it last. Maybe you feel the benefit, maybe you're proud of yourself because you keep doing it. So to learn from success, it can apply to all different aspects. If you have a good meeting with client and it just immediately closed, try to think what happens specifically in this meeting that make it work. Maybe you came with a different energy, maybe you came more prepared. So to analyze success. Okay. Goals and habits. Wait a second. Okay. Goals and habits. So this is something very important. There's a very big connection, or supposed to be a big connection, between our goals and our habits. What does it mean? So first thing, I don't know if you wrote goals for 2022, and I know, Tashena, you're going to speak about it a little bit, I think, if I remember correct. So for me, there's supposed to be a strong connection between the habits you would like to the goals that you would like to achieve and the habits you connected. What do I mean? You're not just like setting habits just like that. We want our habits to help us to achieve goals. Okay. So what I usually I have 5 goals every year. And when I'm writing goals, I'm writing the goals like in every different section or area in my life. Let's say me as a mother, I'm writing 1 goal. Me as a wife, I'm writing 1 goal. As a businesswoman, as a friend, as a daughter, with my health. So I'm trying to reach 1 goal, and I'm trying to focus on 1 goal each area. Then the next thing that I recommend you to do is each goal to write a small habit that you think might be helpful to start with in order to reach the goal. And let me give you an example. Let's say that I want to have a bigger clients. Okay. Right now, my clients are small companies and I want to have a bigger companies. So that's my goal for the next year. So I need to think about a habit that I'm going to do it either every day, either every week, that is going to help me to reach this goal. So this is just something I'm thinking about now. I'm sure there's many more options. Maybe if I'm going to attend a networking session every week, okay, that in this specific networking session, like the people that coming over are from big companies, okay? So maybe think about it. If I'm going to do it every week as a habit, I'm going to meet more people, okay? And maybe if it's the same people, I'm going to build connection. I'm going to build relationship, and it might help me to achieve the goals I want, to find more. So I created a habit that absolutely connected to my goals. If I want to spend more time with my kids, So maybe a habit can be once a week a movie with them. Maybe a habit can be like, I don't know, take each one of them to playground every day. So think about how you can connect habits to your goals. What I recommend you to do, write down your goals and to try to find one habit to each goal, okay? Because it can be just like that, okay? Because we want it to help us to achieve, to support our goals, to be aligned with our goals. So let me give you some few tips. After we understand that it's supposed to be connected, what helped me to make it happen? And what are my top, my top 5 to how to sustain it, to stick it. So number one for me, it's number one, to know your why, okay? Because if I have a habit, first to ask myself, what does it mean to me? What's the benefit, okay? And by the way, if I don't have any benefit, if I don't have a strong why, just forget it because it's not going to last. Let's say I decided every day I'm going to drink, because sometimes we're just setting, yeah, we want to do this, we want to do this. I want to stop smoking. No, I want to drink more water. And then I'm asking myself, okay, but why I want to drink more water? And if I don't know why, I want to earn more money. Okay, but why? Why it's going to give to you? And keep ask yourself why. And if nothing come out and you don't have a strong why, it's not going to last. And I'm going to tell you why. It's very simple. You know, we have so many things going on. Our energy is, we can't do everything. We need to kind of like manage it. And if things are not important enough for us, with all the craziness, it's just not going to last. And when we have why, we know why it's important for us, and we need to write it down. It's going to help us to, to do it. It's going to motivate us. It's going to, and it's true, like in every situation, ask yourself why. If you want to do a habit, ask yourself, why do you want to do it? Time and place, be clear. Whenever you want to do it, to apply something, let's say I want to do marketing. I know it's something that not everyone likes to do, like me either, but not everyone likes to do. And I want to do phone calls to new clients, new companies, and try to find a new clients. So if I'm going to just say that every Monday or every day, I'm going to call to new clients, believe me, it's not going to happen. Why? Because I need to be more clear. I want to know exactly when you set up an habit, it needs to be exactly with time and place. What does it mean? The chance that it's going to happen, if you're going to block an hour or block maybe even like half an hour, and you block it in your schedule, and this time is supposed to be dedicated to call to 5 new clients or 5 new companies. And by the way, I recommend you to start small, as I said before. Don't set up like a very high expectation, because again, it's difficult. We're intimidated by like high expectation. Keep it simple and small. And in this step 2, time and place. Tell yourself exactly what time you're going to do it and where you're going to do it. Why? Because we don't want to have decisions. If we need to think about it, we're not going to do it. We need it to be very clear. Number 3, visualization. This is something very important. As a formula, we need to maximize visualization and to minimize the effort. What does it mean? I mean, the most developed sense that we have is like eyesight. Okay, if we see it, it's easier to get it. And it goes both sides. If we want to eat something more, it should be very close to us. If we want to eat fruits, okay, it needs to be something that we see. Okay, I recommend you, okay, and I can promise you that if you're going to have fruits, and by the way, even wash them, remember, minimize the effort. Wash the fruits, wash the vegetables, and just put them next to you. I promise you, you're going to eat much more. Why? Why? Because you can see it, okay? You don't need to make any effort. You know, it's even like where you located them in you know, in the refrigerator. If I put them that you know, I noticed that if it's like underneath and I need to bend in order to take it, sometimes I don't feel like, okay? I need to see it. I need to see it like in a place that I can see, and it's easy for me to reach it. It goes as well to the other side. If I don't want to eat sweets and I don't want to eat junk food, just don't buy it. Okay? We need to remove temptation. We need to, because if we see it, we don't want to struggle with, I mean, or like our will. We need to, we want it to be easier. Okay? Let's give more examples. If I want to do sport, okay, and I remember and I remind you, we want to keep it simple, we want to keep it small, and we have time and place. And I decided that every day at 2 o'clock, okay, after I finish my lunch, I'm going to do a walk of 10 minutes. So think about it. I need my shoes, my tennis shoes. I want it to be next to me. Because if right now my shoe is going to be like stuck somewhere and I need to look for them, okay, it will lower the, you know, the chances for this to happen. I need maximize the visualization and to minimize the effort. I need to be very easy, okay, in order to make it happen. Sometimes we forget to take vitamins, okay? So locate them in a place that no matter what, next to my makeup, you know, where I'm, you know, doing makeup. So that's there. And for sure, I'm going to remember it. If I want to read books, so it can be like in a different room, like it needs to be next to you. So this specific step, I can tell you, it absolutely, you know, work. Just make sure that the thing that you would like to do is next to you. And at the same time, things that you don't want to do and you would like to avoid, just keep them far, okay? And even if you want to, you know, even if you buy sweets, put them in a place that it's like very difficult to reach them, okay? Sometimes you just give up. If you don't want to use Facebook while you're working, because it's distracting you, so sometimes just maybe close the notifications. Or another things, I know people that change the password and make it like very difficult to get in. And then every time when they need to find a password and then to copy it and it's very difficult, you just give up. Why? Because it's a lot of effort. So it goes both sides. And this is something very helpful. I find it very, it works for me in like so many occasions. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is to connect the old ones to new ones. That's something very good. Look at your list that you just wrote about habits that you already have. Okay? And then take a new one that you would like to, you know, to start doing and just stick them together. Let me tell you, for example, let's say that no matter what, I gave you like the coffee. I'm drinking morning coffee. I'm drinking coffee in the morning. No matter what's going to happen, I'm drinking it. So it's easier to just find a new one and to stick it to an old one. Why? Because to drink coffee, I'm going to drink every time. And now I decided that whenever I'm drinking coffee, I'm going to drink 2 glasses of water. Okay? So let's think about a few things that we already discussed. So the water needs to be next to it, okay? Because I want it to be visualized and I want it to be minimum effort. So I located, in my case, I look at it like Brita or filter. So I located it next to the coffee machine. So it's very easy. And then after a while, I found myself like doing it like automatically. I put the milk and the milk started, you know, being frosty. And then by the time it's ending, I'm already pour myself a glass of water. And now I don't even think about it because whenever I'm making myself coffee and I see the water, I'm just immediately doing it. So why it's good? Because every time I'm going to drink coffee and that's going to remind me the new habit that I would like to achieve. So think about something that you already do and you're being very consistent and just like add on top of it something new. Okay, so this is, I found it very helpful. So try to take already all the tips that we've learned and to try to combine them together. Okay, so that's one of the tips, and we have like two more. Commitment. So as you probably see, this is all food, a good food that my husband did. Okay, so I think a year and a half ago, I was celebrating my birthday, my 42nd birthday. I was in Israel. I had a new baby. Okay, I have 3 kids, 7, 5, and almost 2. So that was 2. And we want to go out on my birthday, but we found it so difficult because we had a new baby and was like we were quarantined and we just couldn't make it. It was too difficult. So I decided, instead of like going out, I told my husband, so let's have a date in our own balcony at home. Let's just, get ready as if we're, get prepared as we're going out, but actually to stay at home. And we did it in our own balcony. And we found it amazing. And we kept doing it. And what we did is we commit to others. I post on Facebook that from now on, we're going to do every Saturday, we're going to do a date. And every Sunday, I'm going to post the food that we ate, the food that we made. And somehow by making a commitment to others, okay, it makes us like want to do it. And we did already, I think, 30 dates, which is, for me, it's absolutely amazing. We did 30 days every time we get ready and we post, and we make it like a very, very good habit that I'm sure all of us want to have a date with our husband, because it's very difficult to find the time. And when I'm saying commitment, it's very helpful. When I want to talk about something, and let's say we come with a new initiative to my boss, okay? And I can say it for a long time, but if you're going to set up a meeting with him and tell him that in this meeting, you're going to talk about a new initiative that you have, you make a commitment and you're going to come ready. So you're going to make it happen. If you want to spend more time with your kid, okay? So and usually you don't find the time and you can't do it, and it's very difficult to sustain this habit. Just tell your kid that you're going to take him to the zoo. And I promise you, you're going to take him. Why? Because you make a commitment. The same way with a buddy, find a buddy. A buddy, if you want to walk every night, so find someone to do with him, to walk with him. If I'm doing it with someone else, and I told him, okay, so let's meet at 8 and just start walking, I won't feel comfortable to disappoint him. It's easier for us to disappoint ourselves rather than disappoint others. So in those habits that you would like to achieve, sometimes find someone to do it with them. It's going to make it happen. Okay. 1 more or 2 more is to breathe. Sometimes, we push ourselves too hard. We want to achieve everything. So keep reasonable commitments. Don't take to extremes. Learn how to say no. Okay, it's very, very important how to say no sometimes, because if we say yes to everyone, we have no time for ourselves. Okay, and we say to love ourselves. It's a Valentine's Day, so to breathe, to take a breath. If you listen to your breath during the day, usually we hardly breathe, and it's very short. I don't know how many times we're taking like actually a deep breath. So don't push yourself too hard. Start simple. Keep some time. Like, this is a picture I took in India in a museum a few years ago. And this is how it looks like actually like in the road in India. Everything's so tense, so stuck. Like you can't go anywhere. There's no space. So it's difficult. So we want to leave some room to grow, some room to stop and to breathe. That's very, very important. Okay, so let's summarize what we've already done. We're discussing about what is the habit. And I can tell you that whenever you would like to achieve, just keep doing it over and over again. And your brain, after a while, some say it's 21 days, some say 30 days. There's not really, I found researchers say like I mean, I heard like a different opinions, but if you keep doing it for a long time, for a while, it's going to be automatic. And that's what we want to do. We say that it's really supposed to be connected with our goals. Okay. And not just like I want it to happen without any goals. To know our why, to know why we want to do it, to have a strong why. Time and place, be clear when you're going to do it and where. Visualization, we wanted to see it and we wanted to reduce the effort. We want to connect the old ones, stuff that we want to do every day, and it's like we're doing it all the time, just to put on top like a new little things. We already said that we should appreciate what we already have and to enjoy it. And we already said that to appreciate the small little things and not just think about big, to commit to others and as well to breathe. One more thing, compassion. Okay. Sometimes it's not working. We're really trying and we really want to do it. And there's so many things going on these days. And just not working. We just like starting and then there's bump on the way and we stop doing it. So to treat ourselves with kindness, to find appreciation, to learn to forgive to ourselves. Usually we're very tough. We're very tough. And if someone else would tell us the same story, we'll be so nice with them. But with ourselves, we're very tough. And to compliment ourselves, this is very, very important. So I just wrote my email and I'm going to tell you about a new habit that I have lately. And Tashena was really helpful with that. So one of my goals is on just arrive, and I'm starting my new business for the beginning, is to ask people to introduce me to someone else that they know. And Tashena introduced me to very good people that already things are happen. And this is a new habit that I have. So if you know any people from HR and any people from companies that you think it's might be, I'm teaching positive psychology and resilience and time management and customer service and many different topics. So if you think it might be relevant for them and you know HR people, please send me an email and just like introduce us, which is very easy to do. So I started this habit and it really worked. And I'm doing it, even though sometimes it's not easy. Okay. But the whole point is like, keep doing it. And then it becomes easier, like everything we need to practice. And then, we kind of like get out from my comfort zone. Okay. And for me, even to speak in English, it's not my first language. My language is Hebrew. Okay. So I'm starting an habit every day to read in English and every day to hear TED Talks in English. And, after a while, it's becoming easier. I'm not saying it's normal for me, but it's a new habit that I'm doing. But this way we grow. Okay. So thank you and good luck. And honestly, I'm here. I mean, right now I don't have, let's see if we have questions like later on, but do you have my email? So if you want to ask me questions, if you want to, ask me about everything we just mentioned, so feel free to ask me questions. We can set up a meeting, whatever you want. I'm here for you. So thank you. And Tashena, I'm getting back to you.
Thank you so much. Such good information. Greatly appreciate it. With that, I am going to go ahead and pass on into my presentation. So we're talking about sustaining habits. And so I thought when you have something that's a habit and it's sustained, then it's really a routine. So I'm definitely going to give you guys some resources of some of the things that you just heard, as well as a couple of other tools that can just exponentially give you additional support in these areas. So my presentation, converting habits into routine. So for those that may watch this and don't know who I am, I'm Tashena Gonzales. Refer to myself as a holistic business coach. I'm an author, coach, consultant, collaborator, content creator, mentor, and speaker. Love doing collaborations with other individuals that we can share information like this. Most of my clients currently are small businesses or entrepreneurs or busy professionals where I can provide them some support. I tell people I turn chaos into clarity. So I work in all 8 dimensions of wellness, so including financial wellness when it comes to business owners, but at the same time, making sure that they don't get burned out. So we'll get into some of those tools at the end that can help you with your emotional, mental wellness, and physical wellness as well. So again, routine really is creating strong habits. And a couple of books that I love on this subject is understanding how habits are created. And the book Mindset of Habits, The Power of Habit, and why we do what we do in life and business is super important to that. And then another one is to know yourself and create strategies. So we were given a lot of really good strategies by Shirley. And a lot of them actually have to do with your makeup, your personality, and some of them work better for certain people. So a book that I found that helped a lot with that is Better Than Before: What I Learned About Making and Breaking Habits, from Gretchen Rubin. So this is tied to the 4 tendencies framework. So some of the things that were mentioned earlier, we can give some names to those things, like making sure that we schedule things, pairing or linking was something that was actually mentioned by Shirley. The strategy of convenience. So again, a lot of these work better for different types of personalities, but these are just some examples that you'll find in this book. Distinctions, monitoring, scheduling, accountability, when we talked about that commitment. Again, the convenience, pairing, clarity, we talked about knowing your why, identity, and other people. So if you want to deep dive some of those techniques and see exactly which ones work best for you, that's a great book to help you do that. So first point, the world is run by those who show up. So it doesn't matter what the habit is, you want to exercise, you're thinking about all these goals you did in January. I want you guys to think, how are you doing on those 6 weeks later, now that we're in mid-February? Your weight loss goals, your business goals, your social media goals, any of those goals that you have. And if you're not doing that, are you taking the first step? Are you showing up? If you're a business owner, and I take a look at your schedule for the last 30 days, how many conversations did you have with people about your business? Or if I look at your calendar for the next week, how many appointments do you have for your business? If we really want to have some good habits, we got to do the first step, which is just to show up. And from there, once we start to show up, we have to have consistency. So I love quotes. If anybody ever sees a presentation from me, it's probably going to have 1 or 2 quotes in it, always. I love quotes. I love learning from people who are smarter than me. So this one, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So if we want to have these, we want to reach these goals that we talked about, it's based in our habits and creating good habits, and that's how we reach excellence. Mm-hmm. So here's the first thing. One of the biggest excuses for not doing what we need to do is that exercise, calling that next client, is I don't have enough time. So we start out by auditing our time. We need to understand exactly where our time is going, if we're being productive with it. Perhaps being on social media is part of what we need to do for our business, but are we consuming more of social media than we are actually posting and interacting? So it's really important for you to audit your time. And once we audit our time, we can make necessary adjustments. We need to start doing less. If we feel like we don't have enough time, we need to do less and get rid of unnecessary tasks. But how do we do that? Well, we want to see what things can we automate? What things can we actually delegate? What things can we eliminate because they're not necessary? And what things can we outsource or perhaps pay someone else to do, or have our children do? We have children. This is so important to ensure that we get our priorities right and create those good habits. Now, this is a very busy slide, but these are some of the things that will help us with our routines and habits. If we have systems in place, if we have tools, this goes back to what we were just discussing as far as ensuring that we can automate or delegate things, using our networks, collaborating with people, making sure we have a team of people, and working with a mentor. Those are all going to help us, and that will give us leverage to actually do more and have better habits. So this is another quote and a concept that is really important, and it goes in the category of making sure we prioritize. So the quote is from Mark Twain. It says, "If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first." So how do we apply this? We're going to prioritize and put our big rocks first. You can see on the right-hand side what happens when we put the small things in first. We can't get everything in the jar. But if we put the big rocks first, all of the other little things can fit around it. So we're going to prioritize those things like our family. We're going to schedule in things for our business. We're going to eat that frog in the morning of the most important things, and we'll find that the rest of the things can fit around it. So we talked about having a system. So what is a system? A system is simply the framework of your good habits. And a lot of those techniques that Shirley gave us, those really make up our system. They give us that routine that we need when we think about pairing or linking to another good habit. That's going to create our system so that we really have a framework of good habits. So another thing that I do with all of my clients is use neuroscience to help us achieve our goals. Why is that important, and what does that actually mean? Well, I found a really nice article from Inc.com that talked about goal setting. And it stated that goal setting is a scientifically proven way to restructure your brain cells so that you're massively more successful. So the part of your brain that creates emotion, your amygdala, evaluates the degree to which the goal is important to you. The part of your brain that does problem solving, your frontal lobe, defines the specifics of what the goal entails. The amygdala and the frontal lobe work together to keep you focused on and moving towards situations and behaviors that lead to the achievement of that goal, while simultaneously causing you to ignore and avoid situations and behaviors that don't. So that's why those techniques that we talked about are so important, because if we hit those little goals that we're talked about, that is going to help us to have better habits and then again get to that routine. And if we are ignoring the negative things, then we're going to be able to avoid those situations and behaviors that we don't want to have. The thing is, though, is sometimes we already have a negative pattern of thinking. So how do we get past that? Well, the way that we get past that is through repetition, first and foremost, and consistency that we already mentioned. So within our brain, there's something called neuroplasticity. And the things that we do over and over again become more of a habit, more of a routine. So in order to create new habits, we need that repetition, that frequency, that consistency, because within our brain, it creates more synapses in our brain, and that gets stronger. And then it becomes more and more of a habit and a routine. And the other thing that we talked about is we talked about that amygdala, and we talked about how that is the center of our emotions. So when we add on that consistency with positive emotions, we're really going to hit those habits and we're really going to have that routine. So the things that I stress with my clients are, I have something called the pause method, which helps you to bring those emotions in or control or have better emotions. So the P actually stands for power posing, which you can actually see me doing in that first picture there. Power posing, the pose that I'm actually doing right there, will calm you down. But you can also use it to feel more powerful. So there is a great TED talk that you can find on power posing on YouTube. And it just is putting your actual body position in the emotion that you want to feel. And that emotion will actually come if you physically do the thing. The A stands for alternative forms of therapy, which I've been in some spaces recently and individuals have been like, they're holistic, they're not alternative, because they've been around forever. So using things like aromatherapy, touch therapy, which when you do each of these, it's always this beginning and basis of it is the deep breathing that Shirley already talked about. So when we're doing concentrated aromatherapy with deep breathing, we can use it in a very intentional manner in order to change our emotions. So that is another thing that I stress with my clients is using touch therapy, sound therapy, aromatherapy, and using that to cement in your habits and goals through positive emotions. And then working with a mentor, I already mentioned, sometimes you just need outside perspective or reading books or listening to TED Talks or coming to events like this. Getting that outside perspective and then making those adjustments in your personal development are extremely important. And then with my clients, I use something called strength finders so that you can align your habits, your goals with your actual strengths. And that is another way for you to know what things you might need to delegate or outsource, because once you identify your strengths, you can work within them and build a team around you that has strengths that are different from yours and will cover the things that you're not strong in. So that is what I want to share with you guys. Before I end it, I want to just share with you a couple of testimonials from some of my clients that I've used these with. So the first one is from a medical professional, and she had stated, I was introduced to Tashena through a close friend who also knows her. I was so excited when I started watching her YouTube videos about healthy living, career advancement, exercising, and food scans that can change your life. I was so excited when Tashena helped me understand the many ways that essential oils can help your body and mental well-being. Tashena is the person to go to if you're looking for a way to change your lifestyle for the better, physically and mentally. She has changed a lot for me with the food scans. I've been eating healthy consistently. I also lost a few pounds already, and the oils and the techniques that Tashena has showed me has been a great help, especially when I get anxious. I take a few deep breaths of one of my essential oils and it calms me down. Tashena is a wonderful coach, mentor, friend, big sister, and just someone who understands she's the best. And then another individual, D, who is a certified aroma freedom practitioner. So she does a very specific aroma therapy techniques with individuals on a regular basis. And she stated, as someone focused on empowered growth, I've had my fair share of personality tests and training. Since I'm always on the healing path, I welcome potential for growth. What Tashena offers is beyond any personality test or development program I've ever seen. Her focus is not about, here's your strengths and weaknesses, so let's fix you. No, this is much more. This is about, here are your strengths and let's magnify them, leverage them, and support you being the very best version of yourself you can possibly imagine, because here's what you're good at. That right there is powerful. And then here's how to connect with me. I'm constantly posting positive things and networking opportunities, a lot of in the NFT space currently on Twitter, because I've just delved into that. And you can follow me there at sweet_Canela. You can follow me on IG and Snapchat at sweetcanela5. You can send me an email with any questions, and the replay and over 1,000 videos about all aspects of wellness, including financial wellness and business, are located on my YouTube, and it's just my name. And you can find any upcoming events on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/vivaactiva.life. And that is what I want to share with you all. Thank you so much again for being here, and for anyone that's going to watch the replay. And with that, I don't know if we have any questions, but we'll have all the contact information available and the replay will be available. You can contact either of us at any time. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone. Enjoy being here. Thank you, Tashena.
No problem.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Good day.